All right, we stay with this particular story and speak to political analyst Dr. Levy Ndou. A very good evening to you and thank you so much for your time. We hear about this name dropping. For example, when we listen to Witness C, he says that on the day they went to arrest Kat Madlanga, he claimed to have been coming from the former police commissioner Ria Piaga's house, and then they get to the police station where they're going to then be processing all of this. He requests to speak to them, continues to further name drop, also dropping the name of the now suspended Minister Senzo Mchunu, among others. What concerns does this name dropping raise for you?
Good evening, Wengiwe. Good evening to the viewers at home. When the commission was established, and when we get to know the evidence that is coming forth, it appears as if some criminal syndicates or criminals would get very close to senior police officials, and mainly for the purposes of protection. And what we appear to be getting here is that people like Mr. Kat Madlanga had a very close relationship with senior police officials who are serving now and those who served in the past. And that will tell you that the element of criminality and wrongdoing within the SAPS has been going on for quite some time. What also appears to be the strategy by some of these people is to ensure that even when there's a change of administration in the SAPS, they should always have someone that they could rely on so that their activities will continue unhindered. And I think that appears to be the modus operandi. But what it overall says to all of us is that when top brass in the SAPS are involved in wrongdoing, like we're getting to here now, it tells you that the entire system is in trouble, and indeed it compromises the safety of ordinary citizens.
And the claims of this presidential bid by the police minister coming up again. We first heard about this in the Madlanga Commission. We're here now. In fact, we first heard about this in the ad hoc committee. We are now in the Madlanga Commission. Again, this is repeated. It comes up yet again, and I wonder, because he had said that he doesn't know who Kat Madlanga is to Parliament, and yet here we are.
It is unfortunate that the proceedings are publicized and everybody else could hear and see the proceedings taking place. What appears to be a stronger voice is that there was a clear linkage between Mr. Madlanga, General Sevilla, and other generals in the SAPS who are also linked to the minister. In the mind of ambitious politicians would always be an attempt to occupy the highest office. And of course, the occupation of the highest office will require the availability of resources. And I think whether it is Mr. Mchunu approached Madlanga or it's someone else who did on his behalf, or as to whether it is Mr. Madlanga himself who offered to provide assistance, is something that is neither here or there. But the issue is that there appears to be a clear linkage between politicians and people who are involved in wrongdoing, and that is a matter of serious concern.
A matter of serious concern indeed, and of course important to note that these are still allegations right at this stage. But when you look at the fact that you speak about resources, but as much as, that campaign will require resources, but when is enough enough? And I ask this against the backdrop of what we've seen in the past, where there's a lot of talk about the monies that would then be required, and why the money should be in excess as much as it has been, particularly when you think about the ANC presidency?
What we need to look at firstly is that we are looking at people that are involved in wrongdoing. We're looking at people who, because they are doing wrong things, they want to get protection. And the right place to get protection is with the police. And after you have captured the police, you also need to get political protection. And I think that is a strategy that could have been used for that purpose. There couldn't be more than enough of the resources, because when you put in a particular amount of money, the demands could go high and they'll always be going higher. And if you look at the amount of money as explained by Witness C today, you will tell that it could be a lot of money that could sound sufficient to others that you wouldn't want to continue doing so. But the unfortunate part appears to be that when you have started doing wrong things, there is always an attempt to continue doing so until you reach at a point that we are right now.
So quickly, before I let you go, how should the ANC be viewing this evidence?
The ANC has always been talking about the use of money in their campaigns. The ANC has always had its image tarnished because of wrongdoing, corruption, and any form of capture. And if we have heard of the capture before, we should also accept that this appears to be the capture of the SAPS, which also has very far implications on the running of the state.
And of course, still allegations at this stage. Let's see then what happens next as far as some of, the claims that continue to be made are concerned. Appreciate your time. That was a political analyst, Dr. Levy Ndou.